Okay, thank you. All right. Everyone will please stand for the position and presentation of the colors. Now Anna Wynn and Madison Smith, former Central High School singers, now with Augustana and the University of Iowa, will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see where the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flame amongst the stinging air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's post the colors. Let's give an applause for our singers and our colors. Now, if everyone would like to be seated, Justice Waterman, and I'll ask my family to come up. I, Mike Madsen,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of mayor
discharge the duties of mayor
of the city of Davenport, County of Scott, State of Iowa,
of the city of Davenport, County of Scott, and state of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Yep, let's do a photo. Justice. family honor. All right. Okay. All right, if Alderman Dunn, and hit anyone with Alderman Dunn's family?
Let's go up
Do your
this,
thing.
go up this side to make it a little easier.
I state your name.
I, Rick Dunn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Alderman
discharge the duties of Alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
and is now or hereafter required by law.
Alderman McGinnis.
I state your name.
I, Frances Marion McGinnis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Alderman
discharge the duties of Alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Alderman Ortiz.
I state your name.
I, Robbie Ortez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will live faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Alderman
discharge the duties of Alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now and hereafter required by law.
Alderman Kelly.
Ron said, walk fast.
Absolutely.
I state your name.
I, Timothy Kelly,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
that I will faithfully and impartially,
I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of alderman
discharge the duties of alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Come on.
Well, normally I can fit myself in. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3. Good.
Alderman Joseph.
I state your name.
I, Ben Jojen,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of alderman
discharge the duties of alderman
of the City of
in
Davenport,
the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Alderman Cornett.
I state your name.
I, Derek Clement,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of alderman
discharge the duties of alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Alderwoman Lee.
me.
I state your name.
I, Judith Lee,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Alderman
discharge the duties of Alderman
of the City of
of
Davenport,
the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
is now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you.
Alderman Condon.
Find it?
Thank you.
No way.
Hey, put your toes on. To that. There you go.
Thank you. I state your name.
I, J.J. Condon,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of Alderman
discharge the duties of Alderman
of the City of Davenport,
of the City of Davenport,
County of Scott,
County of Scott,
State of Iowa,
State of Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law. Thank you.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Did you smile?
Did you smile? Let's do when you smile. You smile for me?
Thank you. That's good. Yeah.
Let's give an applause for Justice Waterman helping us out. On the phone, and we'll take care of them next week. I will start the meeting in 1 minute.
That was nice. Thanks for putting it together.
You're welcome. A little attention getting for the family especially. All right. All right, I call the new council to order in this committee of the whole for Wednesday, January 5th to order. We're going to start as we start each council two-year cycle off with the invocation. We have tonight Chaplain Peterson to help us with that. So whatever appropriate thing you want to do, bow your heads, etc. Chaplain Peterson, please.
Mayor, Alderman, city officials, and friends and family. So beautiful to see so many turn out. But this is an occasion that we've got to understand the responsibilities that are given to these people to govern the city and to keep it running properly. So in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, it said, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your goodness and your kindness. We thank you once again as we come to thee. We're asking for thy leading and thy guidance upon this body. We know that if we trust in thee and we put our faith in thee, all things are possible. So now, Lord, we're going to step aside and we're going to let you lead these individuals that have come, Lord, to serve in the city of Davenport. In the name of Jesus we pray, we say amen. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. So continuing with that wonderful thought, many things going on around, so we'll take a moment and have a moment of silence for you to think about individually what you need to think about and contemplate on. Thank you. Alderman Dunn and everyone, help us lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So Brian Krupp, our Deputy City Clerk, if you'd call the roll for this new session.
Dunn.
Here.
Kelly. McGinnis.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Grip.
Here.
Condon.
Here.
Cornett.
Here.
Dickman.
Here.
Jobson.
Here.
And Ortez.
Here.
10 present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Brian. So again, welcome everyone as we begin the meeting of the City Council Committee of the Whole. Again, like to welcome everybody in attendance and anyone who's viewing the meeting on any particular electronic device. We respectfully welcome your comments and opinions, but please keep in mind as you share your thoughts, you're sharing them not only with the people here, but all throughout the region. We're happy you're participating in your city government and ask that your participation please reflect the common desire that I know we all share to make Davenport a greater place for everyone. Especially for the folks in here, if you have a particular electronic device, I'd ask you to either put it on silent or turn it off simply so that it doesn't interfere with anybody talking. You'll have an opportunity to address the council on the agenda items and with public at the end. You can please come to the podium. The microphone's above you. You'll have 5 minutes. Please address the council as a whole and not it to any one individual. We ask that you limit your remarks to 5 minutes, and we ask that please everyone observe the commonly accepted rules of dignity, decorum, and good taste. Thank you for coming. Next item, City Administrator Ms. Spiegel, is there any update for us this evening?
Just a reminder that we will kick off the fiscal 2023 budget process this Saturday with council goal setting, and the following 2 Saturdays where we will be discussing the operating and capital budgets.
Thank you very much. So we'll move into our agenda. So first we have public hearings, and we have a few of those. We have 5 tonight. So we have 4 under Public Works and 1 under Finance. So I'd ask Alderman Dunn and now the new Alderwoman Kelly as the Vice Chair of Public Works to do the 4 Public Works public hearings, please. Alderman Dunn.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 4 public hearings this evening. I open the first public hearing on the revised plans, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the downtown Davenport streetscape project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this public hearing? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. This public hearing is closed. I open the second public hearing on the plan, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Wisconsin Avenue Davenport Community School District site, Silver Creek Stream Bank Stabilization State Revolving Fund Project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this public hearing? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. This public hearing is closed. I open the third public hearing on the plan, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Garden Addition Berm Restoration Project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this public hearing? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. This public hearing is closed, and I open the fourth and final public hearing on the proposed resolution of necessity covering the 2022 alley resurfacing program. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this public hearing? Seeing none, I move to close the public hearing. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed, same sign. This public hearing is closed, and back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn. The next public hearing is under Finance, so Alderman Condon and Alderman Cornett will lead that discussion. Alderman Condon, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I hereby open a public hearing on granting an easement to Iowa American Water Company across the southernmost 46 feet of city-owned parcel X0155-27J. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Back to you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Condon. Next item, we have any petitions and communications of council members and mayor. I'm looking for, let's see, do we have any? Yes, we do. Alderwoman Lee.
Reinforce what City Administrator Spiegel just mentioned about our budget process. I really encourage everyone from the public, if you're interested in how the city operates, the next 3 Saturdays, starting on, I believe it's the 8th, right? Yeah, starting on the 8th. It's a really good way. That's when we're going to talk about goals for the direction of the city. And after that, the next 2 Saturdays, we'll be talking about how the city operates and funding that, and our capital improvement. I strongly encourage anyone who's interested to please come. You can't ask questions during the discussions, but you can certainly learn a great deal. And I believe it'll be streamed as well, won't it? So you will be able to also watch it if you want to dial in. I also want to say that I'll be starting the 8th Ward meetings again on the second Thursday. I'll be starting them in March, and they will be at the Eastern Library unless it conflicts with a holiday, like next November. But we'll be starting those again in March. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Lee. Alderman Ortiz.
Thank you, Your Honor. As a new Fourth Ward Alderman, I'm saddened to hear over the last week, we've had a number of shootings up on Washington Street, and our, great Davenport Police Department is working on it. And as the ward alderman, I want to know that it's unacceptable. We cannot be having this. Everybody deserves to live or run a business or own a business and feel safe. And as the mayor said, you know, if you discharge your gun in Davenport, we're going to come after you with everything that we have. And I fully support that statement. So, and I know everybody else on the council supports that. So please know that we'll do everything we can, and it's unacceptable. And we will definitely handle the situation as fast as we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Ortiz. Alderwoman McGinnis.
I just wanted to thank our folks for a really outstanding response to the storms, the recent storms, and the plowing. I know that it's been a lot of work, and it was over a holiday, and it was very, very cold, and we had 2 events back to back. And to remind people that you know, that it is sometimes disappointing. The city made special efforts to say, get off the snow routes. There were still cars on the snow routes. I know the city is still following up on residents calling in and saying, hey, this hasn't been, you know, this sidewalk hasn't been shoveled. You know, this car still hasn't been moved. It's very easy. Remember, it's very cold, folks, and it's very easy to see when a car hasn't moved for 24 hours at this point. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So if, you know, please get those turned in. If you've got something on your street that's creating a problem for you, you can call Public Works. They will still come and remove it. And again, it's very obvious, you know, that it's been sitting there for a while. But I do want to thank Public Works folks for just an outstanding job. It was really terrific. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman McGinnis. Anyone else? I just want to say a great thanks to our staff, especially our financial staff, and Ms. Mallory. The council, we were briefed on the findings of our audit for our budget yesterday, and this, so everybody's aware the city is in very good financial position, positive and stable. Our fund balances are in great position, and so you should be proud of the work that your staff and the council does to make sure that we're keeping track of when we ask you for money, we do the right thing with it, and the audit reflects and validates the positive, stable position we have. So thank you, and let's give an applause to our financial staff for that. Anyone else? All right, we'll move on to our 4 areas for discussion at Committee of the Whole. They're Community Development, Public Safety, Public Works, and Finance. Community Development is led by Alderman Grip and Alderwoman Lee. I think Alderwoman Lee, you're going to lead that tonight. Alderwoman Lee.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Yes, but just because Kyle isn't here, Alderman Grip isn't here, we're going to switch roles. So there are 5 items on community development. I'll read them, and then I'll ask for public comment and council comment. So the first one is resolution approving case F20-11, being a request of DA Montana LLC for a final plat of Shirley Shire, a 3-lot subdivision on 12.04 acres located north of Telegraph Road and west of Wisconsin Ave. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments from council? Okay, thank you. And I'll pause so that the ones who are calling in have time. The second one is resolution approving case F21. Oh, this one will move forward. Resolution approving case F21-12, being the request of XL Development LLC for a final plat of Westlake Business Park 5th Edition, an 8-lot subdivision on 11.03 acres located east of Lewis Rich Court. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments from council? Seeing none, this one will move forward. Number 3, the resolution approving case F21-16, being the request of Birchwood South LLC for a final plat of Birchwood South 2nd Edition, a 7-lot subdivision on 17.92 acres located at 4607 East 53rd Street. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments from council? Hearing none, this one will move on. Number 4, resolution approving case P21-05, being the request of Beckett Place Development LLC on behalf of Glenn and Kathleen Muller for a preliminary plat of Beckett Place, a 51-lot subdivision on 25.8 acres located south of Veterans Memorial Parkway and east of Interstate 74. Any comments from the public? Any comments from council? Alderman Joudron?
Thank you, Ms. Vice Chair. I just want to extend some concerns, and I have some questions regarding this preliminary plat. I was wondering if Laura Berkeley would be able to step on up and answer a couple of questions I have. Laura, back in the fall, this developer submitted a preliminary plat to Planning and Zoning, and they recommended denial of that plat for various reasons. Now that it's, gone back through P&Z and to us, can you remind me, that initial plat, how many lots were on that plat as opposed to this?
Laura Berkeley,
design?
Development Neighborhood Services. Originally, this was a 52-lot subdivision, and it has been reduced to 51 lots.
Okay, good. They're asking for a variance for a cul-de-sac that's greater length than code. The topography there has a few challenges. Even though the topography is challenging, is there still a possibility that they could maybe extend Thomas Point through, Lakehurst through, or is it, something from staff's perspective that it's a clear cut, no, just can't be done safely and follow other codes regarding stormwater, runoff, et cetera?
It's staff's opinion that this is the safest option we have. The alternative would most likely be a connection to Veterans Memorial Parkway, which is something that as city staff, we don't find to be a good option for safety concerns. So this is the most likely path forward.
Okay. And then just lastly, since P&Z recommended approval of the variance, is that something that council ultimately has to, rubber stamp, or can we, in our own judgment, excise, our decision to say this isn't really the way we want to go, and if ultimately we decide no, this is against code, we don't want to grant a variance, could vote it down?
Yep, so it's just a recommendation. It's up to city council on which way they want to go with the recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll have a few other comments next week. I just asked that this be placed on discussion agenda for next week. Thank you.
Alderman Grip?
Thank you, Alderwoman Lee. I just wanted to talk briefly about that cul-de-sac, and for those folks who have listened to me for over the last 6 years, I am typically the person who is against cul-de-sacs. As in general, I don't feel they're good development for neighborhoods. In this particular case, our city staff had worked with this developer to come up with this cul-de-sac to avoid having a ingress and egress from the neighborhood coming off of Veterans Park close to the overpass. So just my opinion from what's coming from staff and what's coming from P&Z, this is a pretty good plat. The land is zoned appropriately, and this is exactly the type of housing and type of development that you would expect to go into this particular parcel. So typically, I would say this is a slam dunk of sorts. So that's my comments.
Any other comments from council? Okay, this one will move on. Number 5, a motion approving the local objectives for the Community Development Block Grant Program for the year 48 Annual Action Plan covering July 1, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. Before I open it for public, I'd like to ask Bruce Berger to come up and explain what those 3 objectives are and future opportunities for public involvement and comment.
Bruce Berger, Community and Economic Development. So this motion is regarding, there's an annual process for Community Development Block Grant dollars where the council-appointed Citizens Advisory Committee reviews applications. They're about to review applications as we speak, actually, for the upcoming year to begin in July. And so this motion would set those 3 objectives, which you can read through, but they've been the same for a number of years. They're encompassing, and so it's a good broad base for us to be able to be flexible with those funds. The only thing I guess I would add in terms of other opportunities, this process is usually informed by a whole host of things, surveys, we do some online surveys, we do some public meetings. Some of the things that I think they did this year involved getting out to the Freight House and talking with folks and getting more survey information. They look at census data and lots of things to kind of help advise what to do. So, but anyway, I don't know if that answers.
Thank you very much. Anyone who'd like to, from the public, would like to comment on this? Anyone from council? Okay, thank you very much. Number 5 will move forward. I'd like to ask Alderman Grip to set the agenda.
I make a motion to place item 4 on the discussion agenda and all other items on the consent agenda.
I hear a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, this community development is closed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderwoman Lee. The next area is public safety. Alderman Jobson will discuss this agenda items. Alderman Jobson, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item on the agenda this evening. Motion approving beer and liquor license applications. I will read the new license, new owner, temporary permit, temporary outdoor area location transfer items, and then the annual license renewals are listed for your review. First, we have Front Street Brewery Incorporated, 421 West River Drive, extended outdoor area extravaganza, January 14th through January 16th, 2022, license type Class C liquor. Next, we have Rudy's Tacos, 326 Cedar Street, new license, license type Class C liquor. That's a ratification. Then we have The Coffee House, QC, 1315 Jersey Ridge Road, new license, license type beer/wine. Next, La Flama Restaurant, 3871 Elmore Avenue, new license, license type Class C liquor. And Royal King Liquor, 3340 East Kimberly Road, new license, license type Class E liquor. Is there anyone from public wishing to comment on these items? Anyone from council? Seeing none, I would ask Alderwoman Dickman to please set the agenda.
I move that all items be placed on consent.
Do we have a second? Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Jobson. Next area is public works. Alderman Dunn and Alderman Kelly will discuss. Alderman Dunn, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 16 items for public works this evening. Item number 1 is a resolution approving the revised plans, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the downtown Davenport streetscape project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 2 is a resolution approving the plans, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Wisconsin Avenue Davenport Community School District site, Silver Creek Stream Bank Stabilization State Revolving Fund project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 3 is a resolution approving the plan, specification, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Garden Addition Berm Restoration Phase 1 project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 4 is a resolution awarding a sole source contract for the engine number 1 overhaul at the Water Pollution Control Plant project to Altorfer Incorporated of Davenport, Iowa in the amount of $120,856. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 5 is a resolution awarding a contract for the Hillendale Road and Northwest Boulevard and West 76th Street and Northwest Boulevard project to Langman Construction of Rock Island, Illinois in the amount of $1,016,631.16. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 6 is a resolution awarding a contract for the FY 2022 sewer manhole rehabilitation program to Langman Construction of Rock Island, Illinois in the amount of $2,704,693. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 7 is a resolution awarding a contract for construction-related services for the FY 2022 collection system and manhole rehabilitation program to Strand and Associates of Madison, Wisconsin, in the amount not to exceed $431,500. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing the submission of the application to the Economic Development Administration for grant assistance with the design construction of the River Center Convention Center Recovery and Adler Theater Ventilation Upgrade Project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn. If our administrator could talk a little bit about this program, you had mentioned, talked about something at management update and what's happening and how this ties into some other recovery funding. Thank you.
So as the council's aware, we've had some great success with EDA grants in recent years. And as we've been looking forward at potential recovery grants, and especially with tourism impacted as it was, this specific grant aligns very well with improvements we're interested in making at the River Center Adler. So with federal funding, it's a great partnership, and we think the business case for the improvements we want to make at this facility will be strong. We've had a great partnership with Visit Quad Cities and Dave Harrell in preparing our application for this.
Anyone else? Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 9 is a resolution accepting work completed under the CY 2021 sidewalk program by AmeriCorps LLC of Bluegrass, Iowa, in the amount of $286,953.14. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 10 is a resolution accepting work completed under the Water Pollution Control Plant Emergency Lift Station Repair Project by Reagan Mechanical of Davenport, Iowa, in the amount of $161,400. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 11 is a resolution accepting work completed under the Emerald Drive, West Lombard Street to West Central Park Avenue Reconstruction Project by Langman Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $463,772.55. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 12 is a motion accepting work completed under the West Lombard Street, Clark Street to Elsie Avenue resurfacing project by Langman Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $86,735.01. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 13 is a motion accepting work completed under the Sunderbrook Trail reconstruction project by Valley Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $70,346. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 14 is a motion approving the purchase of repairs to a John Deere wheel loader at the compost facility by Martin Equipment of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $62,074. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. Item number 15 is a motion approving change order number 8 to Valley Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $48,791.37 for the West 76th Street Extension Project. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. And finally, item number 16 is a motion accepting the airport rescue grant in the amount of $59,000 and approving the associated grant agreement between the City of Davenport and the Federal Aviation Administration. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council. Seeing none, this item will move on. And Alderman Kelly, would you set the agenda for us, please?
I move to place that item number 8 in discussion agenda, and the remainder of the items go to the consent agenda. Thank you.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, and that will set the agenda, Your Honor, and back to you.
Thank you, Alderman Dunn and Alderman Kelly. And you young people in here see why it's so important for preschool and third grade literacy. So when you're sitting up here and doing all this reading, right? All right, so I hope everybody in the state heard that. The last item is finance. Alderman Condon and Alderman Cornett will discuss. Alderman Condon, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 10 items on finance this evening. Item number 1 is a resolution setting February 9th, 2022 as the date for the sale of general obligation corporate and refunding bonds series 2022A and approving the preliminary official statement. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? Seeing none, that item will move on. Item number 2 is a resolution setting a public hearing for the fiscal year 2023 proposed maximum property tax levy rate and amount. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? That item will move on. Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute the necessary documents to grant an easement to Iowa American Water Company across the southernmost 46 feet of city-owned parcel X0155-27J. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? That item will move on. Item number 4 is a resolution establishing the interest rate for special assessments. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? That item will move on. Item number 5 is a resolution approving the updated fee schedule for rental license and inspection fees. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? That will move on. Number 6 is a resolution awarding a contract for architectural and engineering services for the Fairmount Library Community Center project to OPN Architects of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in the amount not to exceed $200,000, ARP09. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? From the council, we have Alderwoman McGinnis.
Thank you, Alderman Condon. I just wanted to point out that this is a part of the ARPA dollars. This is part of the previous council's commitment to dealing with things that will help children in our community, particular populations that are underserved. And I'm very excited to see this coming. This is the architectural engineering services for a community center to be built at Fairmont. Now, I work with the library, I'm sort of the liaison for the library on the council, and I remember Amy Grosskopf at one of the board meetings talking about how many children came to that library in the summer and were there all day long. This was several years ago. They were there all day during the summer, which is certainly better than being somewhere, not being, maybe being as fruitfully occupied, but they were not eating lunch. They weren't having lunch, but this is where they were. It was a safe place for them. So the library then implemented became part of the feeding program for the city of Davenport and saw a need there to serve these children. So when the opportunity for recovery dollars came, one of the things that our library brought forward was the idea of a community center there that would be focused on, serving children, potentially after school programs and other things. It's my understanding that in the planning of this, they worked very closely with the community to find out what the needs were there. But, this is one of the ways I really feel like this feel very good. It's certainly not in Third Ward, but it's in a place where it's needed. And it's a place, it's an opportunity to work with communities that need help, for children who need help. And I'm very excited to see this coming forward. Thank you.
No longer, okay. Item number 7 is a resolution approving the purchase of a 2022 John Deere 544P end loader from Martin Equipment of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $182,731 using Sourcewell contract number 032119-JDC. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Council? That item will move on. Item number 8 is a resolution adopting the City of Davenport's 2022 state legislative program. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? From the council, we have Alderwoman Lee.
Thank you very much. Council Warner, would you mind just giving a summary for folks on what this is? Or city administrator or someone?
Sure. So every year before the legislative season kicks off, staff prepares a series of legislative papers on issues and items that are relevant to the city and how we conduct business. It varies every year, but there are definitely some consistent items that previous councils and this council are asked to consider, like the appropriate use of ATEs or the traffic cameras, continuing using TIF as a tool in our community. We talk about a public safety levy, a public safety nuisance, and then there was a new paper, only one real new topical area for this year, and that was about how the state provides resources to the 7th Judicial District, specifically in support of violent crime and the management of some of the criminal activity in our community. So, and continuing our efforts to combat violent crime in Davenport.
So that last one is actually asking for more support for the city of Davenport from the court system,
It's
correct?
equitable distribution of resources that the state already has, yes.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Seeing no one else, that item will move on. Item number 9 is a resolution renaming the First Tee Classroom at Red Hawk Golf Course as Jim Hazley First Tee Learning Center. And before I open this up for comment, I'd like to invite Chad Dyson from the Parks Department up as we recognize Mr. Hazley. Welcome you to express some of the sentiment behind this recognition.
Chad Dyson, Parks and Recreation Director. Jim Hazley was the cornerstone of Davenport golf for over 50 years in the community, serving as a head golf professional for 30 of those years, and then was instrumental in leading the establishment of the First Tee program at the Red Hawk Golf Course. The First Tee board, recognizing that several months ago, brought a motion forward to rename their Learning Center classroom at the golf course in his honor, and we fully support that, and that's what's before you tonight.
Is there anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Please step to the lectern, state your name and address or ward, please.
Good evening. My name is Lynn Day Stimley. Jim Hazley is my father, and my brother Matt is here as well. And we would like to say that we are truly touched and honored by this resolution, as would Dad be, and we're very proud and appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you for coming this evening. Anyone from council wishing to address this item? And that will move on. And finally, item number 10 is a motion approving professional service agreements for golf professionals services with Brant McGivern, Matthew Hazley, and Ronnie Tharp at Red Hawk, Duck Creek, and Emi's golf courses, respectively. Anyone from the public wishing to address this item? Anyone from council? Below on our agenda, we have purchases from $10,000 to $50,000. We don't read each of those individually, but they are listed there for your information. Alderman Cornett, would you please set our agenda?
I move that all items be placed on the consent agenda. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And that concludes finance, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Condon. Next item is, are there any other ordinances, resolutions, or motions? There are none this evening. Next item, is there any public with business? So if anybody would like to address the council, you have 5 minutes again, for any item other than what was on the agenda already. Seeing none, are there any reports of city officials left over? Ms. Spiegel. Very good. Is there a motion to adjourn? There's a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. No. Very good. We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you, family, for coming. Enjoy your evening. Be safe, especially tomorrow in the cold.
This conference is no longer being recorded.